Who are some of the best comedic actors working today? Steve Carell, Bill Murray, Jim Carrey, Ryan Gosling?
It's my husband. Fred's his name.
Fred.
He's gone missing.
Missing?
I'm terribly worried. It's just Fred's never been gone this long before.
How long has he been missing?
Since the funeral.
Well, I can start right away.
The Nice Guys is a dark comedy from Shane Black starring Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe as a couple of investigators who find themselves tied up in the mystery of what happened in the death of an adult film actress. Can the movie hold your attention and make you laugh? Let's check out 5 things you might want to know about The Nice Guys. Let's just start with the make you laugh part. The answer is yeah. It's really funny. I was laughing throughout a lot of this movie. I have to give a lot of credit to that to Ryan Gosling. Yes, the writing in this is good, and it's good outside of him as well, but he is super funny. After The Big Short and this, I'm really getting to see his comedy chops, and he's got them. He makes me laugh. I also love this movie's sense of comic timing. There are a lot of moments in this movie that it really gets that laugh point correct, and you know how important that is for a flow of a comedy to make sure those laughs come when they're supposed to come, and this movie does that very well. The other thing the movie does very well is it gives you a good mystery to solve. I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you're going to have a crime mystery in your film, make sure it's a good mystery. Make sure we care about figuring it out and that you give us the information we need when we need it to bring us along. And I think this movie does that very well. It has those twists and turns that are involved in a mystery like this, and therefore keeps your attention throughout because you want to know who's involved, how they're involved, and what happened. I also really enjoyed that this movie had a very distinct worldview. There are some interesting themes here about chance and luck and why some people live and why some people die and randomness that this movie has a very particular worldview on, and it's right from the beginning. It doesn't waver on it. There's scene after scene throughout this movie that kind of winks at it that I found to be an interesting theme line through the movie that I liked following and also found refreshing. But here's the thing, and this is where the movie fails for me a little bit. Having a worldview isn't the same as having meaning. And this movie suffered for me because it didn't really seem to mean anything. There weren't moments during this movie where I was like, oh, that's what you're saying, or that's what the meaning of this film is. That's where the depth is that I can find. Now, I know not every movie has to have that, but I like it, and it means something to me as a moviegoer when a movie goes that extra level and actually means something to you. This movie didn't have that, and so it takes a few points off in my book. The other thing that threw me off about this film, and again, another kind of minor point, but the pacing is off. Now, earlier I talked about the comic timing being right, but comic timing is different than comic pacing. This movie is a little too over the top at points, pushes the comedy just a little bit too far so that it takes you out of the possible reality of the situation and becomes more of a slapstick movie than a crime comedy, dark comedy drama. So in those few moments, to be pulled out is not a great experience, and I think the movie could have found that balance just a little bit better. Overall, The Nice Guys is a funny movie. You're gonna have a lot of laughs. Gosling and Crowe are great in it, and there is something interesting to pay attention to. Overall, I gave it a B. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the Best Ever Challenge here in a bit. First, if you wanna know more about what goes on at Your Movie Friend, quick way to do that is to click the info button up here. That'll pull up some other reviews you can check out, link to the website, how to support, that kind of stuff. Also, search for me on social media. Aaron Dicer's my name, Aarondicer. You can follow Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, Snapchat, all of the above to find me and kind of what I'm saying about movies and different things in my life. You can also follow the podcast, SiftPop. Subscribe, SiftPop. Every week we talk about pop culture, kind of what's on our minds, review the latest movie, have a lot of fun with guests on and all sorts of cool stuff. So check all those things out if you want to. And now on to the Best Ever Challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. What is the best movie ever set in the 1970s? Now, not filmed in the 70s, so like a modernish movie, let's say 90 and after, set in the 1970s. For mine, it had to be the 7th sequel in a really super film franchise that doesn't exist. Take a guess at mine in the comments. Leave yours there as well. And as always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit the subscribe button. Just click the logo right down in this corner. And by the way, I didn't mention it, but you will get a point if you guess mine right first. But subscribe. Then you get lots of points because you can get like next week's point too.